After this video, you're gonna have the 5 keywords you can put in any A Christmas Carol essay to instantly boost your grade. Let's kick it off with number 1. When writing any A Christmas Carol essay, this word is a must. Allegorical novella. The definition of allegorical novella, it is a story or a poem intended to teach. How it links to A Christmas Carol. Dickens basically wanted to dispel the prejudices towards the lower classes. So the prejudices are the beliefs that the upper classes had about them, typically that they were lazy and they weren't worthy. So this is how you can actually use it in a sentence. Dickens constructs an allegorical novella to dispel the prejudices towards the lower classes to his upper class readership. Where I put this in any Dickens intentions and just say that Dickens constructed an allegorical novella and then insert your point. So just a reminder guys, all of these keywords come from the Light Up Hub and we've got a grade 9 keyword sheet on every single text with definitions and examples, just like we did there, but literally 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 words per text rather than just 5. So if you would like to check that out, click the link in the description below, and I'm also going to link below some free lessons. Number 2, in any A Christmas Carol essay, you have to use this word about Scrooge, redemption. Now the definition of redemption is being saved from sin, how it links to the novella. So we could see in Stay 4 when Scrooge is pleading for his life back to the ghost of Christmas yet to come, he is pleading for redemption. He then gets granted that redemption, he gets granted being saved from sin in Stay 5. When he wakes up again, he's as light as a feather, he's almost had this rebirth because he's undergone redemption, being saved from sin. Now let's take a look at how you can use it in a sentence. Scrooge is granted redemption in Stay 5 as he shows a willingness to transform into a benevolent and charitable member of society. So anything you're talking about in Scrooge in Stay 4 or Stay 5, definitely use the word redemption. Number 3. An amazing grade 9 word you can use to describe Scrooge in Stave 1 is parsimonious. The definition of parsimonious means being selfish. Now, how it links to an overall novella. Looking at Scrooge in Stave 1, he is the epitome, the perfect example of being parsimonious. He is stingy, he is reluctant to give to charity. We can really clearly see his stingy, his frugal, and his parsimonious nature. This is how you can use it in a sentence. Scrooge's parsimonious nature is a defining character trait in Stave 1. Then after that, you go on to explain how, depending on what you're linking it to, talk about his interactions with the charity men, talk about his attitude towards his nephew Fred and how he speaks about money. They all show his parsimonious nature. Number 4, for any A Christmas Carol essay, instead of saying Scrooge transforms, say Scrooge transmogrifies. Now the definition of transmogrifies is a change in a surprising or magical manner. In this context, we're talking about being a surprising manner because we didn't really expect Scrooge to change in the way he did. So how this links to the overall novella, if we compare Scrooge and how he's presented in Stave 1 versus Stave 5, his transformation is surprising. So therefore we can say that he transmogrifies because our predictions about him in Stave 1 to Stave 5 probably wouldn't be very compatible based on the character traits he has of being like parsimonious, being stingy in Stave 1. It doesn't correlate to him being so jovial and benevolent in Stave 5. And this is how we could use it in any sentence. Scrooge's transmogrification marks the end of the novella and illustrates how shattering ignorance paired with the benevolence is key to transformation. And again, anything you're talking about in Scrooge in Stave 5, or even if you're talking about Scrooge in Stave 1 and how it foreshadows his transmogrification, make sure you use that keyword. And number 5, last but not least, in any of your Christmas Carol essays, instead of saying the struggle of the poor, say the plight of the poor. Now, plight just basically means an unfortunate situation. So instead of saying they're struggling, we're kind of just using it in a different word to encompass all of their struggles and how it's unfortunate for them to be in poverty. So you can link it in a couple of ways. You can either talk about how Scrooge at the beginning contributes to the plight of the poor. So he contributes to the suffering of the poor by him being parsimonious and him being very ignorant to their suffering, particularly, branding them as lazy as upper class Victorian members did. Or also you could link it to the Cratchits and the plight of the Cratchits and how they still remain very grateful and benevolent anyways. So this is how we could use it in a sentence. Despite the plight of the Cratchits, they still emit benevolence and gratitude at the minuscule they share. The Cratchits are a great one to show the plight of the poor because of course they are the characters we get best insight to in the lower classes, but how they're still grateful despite all of the suffering they encounter. So I hope you enjoyed the video today guys. Use these 5 keywords in any Christmas Carol essay because they're transferable regardless of the question, regardless this with your exam board. And if you do like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. See you on the next video. Bye.